Neck, welcome to Shadowstar and this Star Trek Online visual review video. Allow me to introduce our ship, shrouded in shadows, just off of Deep Space Nine, the Vo'n'talk. A ship of the era similar to the NX class, the early age of Starfleet, and the what would later be formed the Federation. It's funny how Enterprise got old Klingon better than Discovery did. Not to say that there isn't nice Discovery designs. Oh, I'll acknowledge there are some. Less than the Klingon side than the Federation, but some. But this will be a visual review where we get to break down this beauty, the legendary Bird of Prey's new visual aesthetic, and, well, we'll take a look at customization, then finer detailing in demo record, and finally, the possible vanity shields you can put onto this ship thanks to certain shields in the game. Now, with this being said, I'm Ri'shad. Shall we begin? So, anyone spot an immediate difference to the ship that I had outside DS9 and what's on screen right now? Other than the fact that it's absolutely tiny on screen, I'm so sorry for that. The Vo'n'talk comes with its own hull material. Now I just have the Katinga on it, which looks very nice, I'm going to be honest, I'll show you. Katinga Beta, that's what I was using. What can I say, I like it. It's a bit disappointing to see that the legendary Vulture's skin isn't available for this ship. That really did tee me off, considering the Vo'n'talk was there, so why is the Vo'n'talk Beta not there? But okay, we do still have the Bird of Prey, which looks very interesting. Fleet 1? What? Fleet 2? Okay. Katinga Alpha, which is somewhat nice looking for the ship, I'll give it that. And relatively fit into the era. Katinga Beta, again, I'm not going to complain at that, that's obviously the one I like. TOS D7, I have friends in high places. This, well, let's just say, if they'd used something like this in Star Trek Enterprise, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. I mean, yeah, it's TOS themed. Type 0, looking a little bit rough. I will show all the types here because I can. Type 1, Type 2, better. Type 3, actually that's quite nice. I do think that fits with the Klingon aesthetic. Type 4, my style. I do like a nice black hole. Upgrade, which I'm really not sure what to comment on that one, so I'm just going to go over it. Veteran, that looks better to me. Of course, Vo'n'talk, as we previously mentioned, we have the Vulture as well, which looks absolutely stunning for the ship. And finally, the Vo'n'talk. Again, looks pretty damn good on the ship. The ship also comes with the template aesthetics of the Burrell, which, let's be fair, if it's the legendary Burrell, would have been a bit bad if that was missing. The Kurloff, interesting look. The Boroff, again, pretty nice look. The Core, damn, that's one of my favourite looks. So aggressive. And of course, you're back to the Vo'n'talk. If you want to modify this ship up, whoopsie daisy, hit the wrong button. We do have the ability to swap out the hull, the saucer, the pylons, the nacelles, and the mission pod on the back. You can also change the emblems that are on either wing. Instead of just both together, you actually get to choose between the two. Finally, just a quick mention, we do have alternate interiors that you can have, however they do require a 400 Zen purchase for most of them, and unlike the Klingons, I do not have most of them. However, you do have some pretty nice ones that, to be fair, Lursa is one of my absolute favourites to have on the ships anyway. Kalis is another really nice one, so I'm not sure why you'd go down here and buy some of these others. I mean, they are absolutely lovely, so if you are interested, come down here, you can have some beautiful looking ones. But that's to your choice. Not necessarily mine. Having said that, Not much more you can say customization wise. Let's get out there to demo record, shall we? So let's see how visually pleasing she is in this environment. Oh boy, have we got so much to look at on this ship, but at the same time, not a lot. She's tiny. Comes in handy, the fact that she's tiny. So where do we even begin? Okay, I like to begin near the head of the ships on Klingon vessels, so let's begin there, shall we? Just come in nicely in this. Let's be fair, this is a very unusual design of Burrell head. Why? Because it's got the D7 bridge. Not very often do you have this additional dome section on a bird of prey design. Normally the bird of prey, take that off and you'd be close to what the bird of prey would feel like. Now there are a few things here that I really do, well, appreciate in the design element. First of all, the head of this ship is very Burrell-esque. You can feel like the Burrells came from this location. If you take out, you can see the pair of tubings coming down the neck and on around the head. Take out the ones that are a little bit back a bit. This one here, the highest one, and you've got sort of the Burrell shape and the Burrell primary tube that you always have on a Burrell. You've got what would later be, I believe, the Burrell bridge dome, which is nice to see, even though there's a bridge now right behind it. Clearly that changes over time. Interesting to see the structural support bars that are there for the bridge. They must serve some purpose, but I'm not sure what. Then again, this whole ship has this design cue elemented into it. If you just look back behind that bridge section, ooh dearie me, you can see coming off of it right there, coming down the neck, two massive support bars that head all the way to the wings almost. So they're coming back quite far. Also paying attention to the head, we have two, what I'm going to call light cannons or medium cannons, mounted either side of the headpiece, which gives it plenty of firepower there alone. A bit of basic firepower, I'd say. And they're twin cannons as well, so you're looking at dual cannons already armed on this ship that are going to have a relatively decent pulse and power to them that you'd assume for a Klingon vessel. Of course, the torpedoes are launched from the deflector. That is kind of normal on these ships. Looking back behind at this, and you have two very substantially sized, I'm going to call them twin heavy cannons at the back there, combined with two heavy cannons on either wing. So essentially you've got on the head of this ship a pair of a pair of dual cannons. Down on the belly of the ship you have dual heavy cannons, and then on the wingtips you have heavy cannons. Not necessarily a problem in design. I think it's quite good that they've designed it like that. It's not over the top. The wings themselves are actually another key feature for me that I quite like. For one, the way they structure upwards and are not solidly meshed with the body of the ship really gives that nice elemented feel to the ship. I do appreciate how the cannons are just focused on being cannons. They're not being treated like nacelles, even though STO will call them nacelles. Instead, the nacelles are up with the mission pod. We'll get to that later. The cannons themselves look very, very, very well designed. More industrial, definitely less evolved than the Burrell cannons. You can feel more elements of robust. They're waiting to be refined. So it's easy to replace elements at the moment. There's that level of the Klingons are full. This is either going to burn out, blow itself up. It's not well designed, so that you have to be easily replaced, and you can see that element in its design. I like that. I do like that design. Now down the wings, which are absolutely beautifully designed, and I love the Klingon insignia on them, we have a very nice articulation point. Now, unlike in other designs, This articulation point feels more well thought out to me. Instead of being a solid piece that just articulates on itself, which feels to be like it's held at one end and the other, like on Voyager, this one is a load of intersecting braces that are all locked together, all holding together, right throughout the whole thing. So even if you blow up one end, you're not going to lose the articulation control, because the rest of it is still being held. You could lose on Voyager, if the front of the nacelle's articulation was hit and heavily damaged, you wouldn't be able to articulate it. On this one, you could do it and it'd probably still be able to move relatively easily. It might require some cleaning out, but it will still move. And that is a great design element. Also, the way it's meshed together well, and that 3D texturing they've used is beautifully done. The shadowing is great. It really brings out the refinement of this ship. And then they really went the extra mile thinking about the design, because the wing, like I said, the wings aren't fully meshed with the secondary hull. And as a result, you can see, even on the side where it's articulating, where the plates are moving against each other. And as the wings lower themselves, this will mesh up and eventually it forms a solid piece. So when the wings are articulated and low down with this specific hull type, you end up with basically a solid structure. Holy moly. I do apologise about that, that caught me right off guard. What the hell? Sorry about that, that caught me right off guard. Continuing to say though, so we have a solid structure that is formed when the wings are articulated low, but while they're articulated up and raised and not in combat positioning, it doesn't look out of place, doesn't look broken, and I do appreciate that as well. Now, back to speaking about the heavy cannons, that's another thing I want to point out here, is these are really well placed and positioned. Yes, it's very clear that they can't rotate, so it has a very narrow arc of fire, but it can actually aim down. You can see that there is a bit of rotation to it, so they can aim up and down, they just can't left and right. Not necessarily a problem, but the whole bracing structure, the whole mount of these dual cannons really looks refined enough that you could believe that they get hit by a few disruptor shots or plasma shots, and they're not going to fail. It's going to take a torpedo to wipe that out. But at the same time, there is one critical thing I want to point out. That's the head of the ship. They have a blind spot. But then again, let's keep in mind this is a bird of prey. And what do birds of prey do? Well, they don't really come in from below, do they? This bugger's going to be swooping in from above. Having said that, up, down, left, right doesn't really matter in space. The ship could always rotate itself over. Honestly, yep. It's... I'm not entirely sure how to say this. The weapon emplacements and the structural design of this ship, the wings and the way all of it works together, I like the fact that it feels heavily functional. Really heavily functional. And at the same time, you understand that this is an early Klingon vessel. It has structural weak points that they haven't quite ironed out yet. Things that you wouldn't necessarily see on the Burrell. That, being able to achieve that feel from this ship was where I say Star Trek Enterprise really did a properly good job designing an older vessel. Discovery, you could learn a thing or two. Now, if we're going back up to the top of the ship in the secondary hull and its mission pod, as it gets referred to, we notice that the Bassar Collector is huge. Now keep in mind the size of this ship, and engineering is right below that Bassar Collector. That's right, This thing on top of the ship is its facade collector, which I have no problems with. I have literally no problems with that being a facade collector. I feel like that's a great place to put it. It's in a structurally good point. Yes, admittedly, you can hit it a little bit too easy. And as we've seen in the past, taking out nacelles can blow an entire ship up. Just ask the Galaxy class. Oh, who remembers that episode? Oh, time loops. But with this being said, that facade design just works for me, because it feels like they've realised that they've got such a critical element of vulnerability of the ship, basically plastered there saying, shoot me, and they've reinforced it. That a bit of caging around it, to me, just feels like it's shielded, it's protected, they're ready to take damage in the area and not lose the ship as a result. Up and you've got the nacelles or warp coil sections, these little struts above. I do like the design of the glowing element at the back of the nacelles. I actually like the fact they're close together, because that's less element it gets wrong. And it means that no matter what position this ship is, no matter what position the wings of this ship, it can probably go to warp. Because bearing in mind, these warp fields make bubbles, and the Klingon vessels make bubbles just the same way Federation does. So it's great to have them close together. They can probably be more efficient because they're closer together. They've got that line of sight. It works really well for me. Then we can go tappy tappy tap. Hello, gotta get round to it. The impulse rate. The impulse rate is probably it's the element which I think is the best part of this ship. How to explain? You look at any other bird of prey in STO. I hate the look of the impulse array. And to be fair, that's one of the things I've never liked about the Burrell. Among a couple of other things, but then you get this. Again, the impulse array feels reinforced, it feels sturdy, it feels like it's ready to evolve, but it's not quite reached that point yet. You can see a structural frame point where they decide, you know what, if we stop putting the impulse array up here and we take out this element and we can put the impulse array into this section, beef it up a little bit, way more power, make our bird of prey quicker. Oh, we've got the Burrell impulse array. You can see where how it's going to evolve into the impulse array of the Burrell. Yet the impulse array you've already got here feels refined enough for the era, and like it's giving the bird of prey its maneuverability. Though as we all know, this bird of prey was nothing to the Burrell. Like literally, we're talking completely different scale of power. There's a reason why you still see the Burrell flying in DS9. They got the bird of prey right. Now with that being said, let's skip away from this. It's time to take a taste of the vanity shields. Shall we? Now don't mind me, I'm just testing using a new location for these videos. Mostly because, as someone pointed out to me, the legendary Oggy, the Dyson Sphere has camera issues, well, shadow issues. It's not so bad in demo record when you up the render scale, but when you're in standard scaling, yeah, that's a problem. So, I'm going to avoid that by being here. And let's see what we can do. Here, looking at the vanity shields. Now then, first vanity shield up in the Ghosts, we will have the Alliance vanity shield. Which, if this looks good on the ship, I'm going to be interested. Better than I was expecting. Cannons look pretty good, don't they? Gee, I think the wing-mounted cannons look good as well. Interesting where the red glow element is, considering where the actual impulse array is, but hey-ho. The warp core is looking quite nice, and the Bassard collector is pretty nice looking. I've got to say, I approve. Yeah! Give it a first. Hang on, I'm just going to quickly double check. That's why we're getting that weird red glow there over the impulse array, because I'm at full impulse. I apologise. Next up, we have the Bayul. Now, this should look damn good. Hopefully, the dark lighting in this area isn't so bad looking at this ship. Oh, it's not! Okay, I might be stealing one of your locations. For those wondering where I'm currently positioned, it is actually the, well, basically captain's seat. You have access to this environment if you have lifetime membership or have been a veteran for a certain period of time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of approving of that factor right now as well. I became a lifetime member a while back. If you've ever wondered about lifetime membership, it's worth it. Borg Vanity Shield. Well, the cooperative Borg's Vanity Shield looking pretty damn nice. Actually, that looks really good on the ship, I'm gonna be honest. Personally, it's quite aesthetically pleasing to me. If someone came along and told me this was just the natural look of a Klingon vessel, I could believe it. It's aggressive, fierce. I approve. Next up, we are going with Discovery Vanity Shield. Now, of course, if I wasn't on a Fed and I was on a Klingon, you'd have the sarcophagus hull plating on this vessel. That should be noted. That should be duly noted, should I say. Not bad looking at all. Hang on a second. So for those that were wondering, here it is with the sarcophagus hole on it. So this is still the Discovery Vanity Ship hull. However, this Discovery Vanity Ship hull is done on a Klingon character rather than a Federation character, resulting in this aesthetic. The impulse engine looked a little bit screwed up, but okay. Don't think they checked everything when they made this. Whoops. Maybe a sign of things to come. I'll also just quickly show you the Ferengi, because I can. Oh, Ferengi. I'm not entirely sure why the Ferengi would have a Klingon bird of prey, but... well, you know why the Ferengi would have a Klingon bird of prey. It's powerful. It's worth lots of latinum. We're going to get killed by the Klingon Empire for stealing a bird of prey and then changing it into this. Look. Yeah. Ferengis would never have a bird of prey, but okay. Next up. Still got the Discovery Vanity on the ship here. Doink. That awkward thing of changing characters. Emperor's Vanity Shield now. Yeah, sorry about having to change characters midway through that. Hopefully the cut wasn't too disorientating. Not gonna lie, that somewhat suits the ship, doesn't it? I should have checked to see if the Emperor's Vanity Shield has a different visual for Klingons. But then again, that requires me to get double sets of all these Vanity Shields, and my word, it's expensive for some of them. The Glari Vanity Shield, however, does not. The Fakiri Vanity Shield also looks really damn good, actually. That does not fill out a place at all. The IKS Darth is looking deadly. Ooh, Bye. Don't pick a fight with that shit. Damn. Kelvin Divergence. Please don't wash out too badly. Okay, the Basard Collector doesn't look too bad. Mind you, that might be because of the whole materials that are over the top of it. Deflector has lost its feeling to it, but then again that looks more like a torpedo tube now, so that's fine. Whoa, okay, the warp coils have the Basard Collector template on it and it looks terrible. And the deflector is on the impulse. What the? Why is the deflector visual on the impulse? And why is the Basard Collector visual on the warp coils? Yeah, okay. Next up, we have the Medical Vanity Shield. We are the Klingon Emergency Medical Force. We have come to expedite your passing to Stovall. What, you thought we were going to heal you? Of course not. We will let you die as a warrior. Bang! I'm sorry, that's just how I imagine the Klingon Defense Force to be when it comes to medical. I know they have doctors and they actually support each other and keep their warriors alive. But you can see them doing that as well, can't you? Please tell me. I'm not the only one. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Platinum Vanity Shield time. Platinum Vanity Shield is pretty. Never thought you could make a Klingon vessel look well, less Klingon and more. I could see this being flown by the Federation level at a degree. Well, not exactly the Federation, but someone allied to the Federation is more what I mean. Someone that you'd more likely seen by someone allied with the Federation and supporting the Federation beliefs. But this is just flown as a combat vessel, like a fighter craft to escort the big cruisers and diplomatic ships. That's the feeling I get from this Vanity Shield on the Bird of Prey. It's interesting, it changes the way the Bird of Prey feels. Section 31 Vanity Shield. That does not change the way the Bird of Prey feels. That just makes the Bird of Prey feel more deadly. I could see Klingon intelligence flying this. In fact, literally almost, well, other than the red glow at the impulse, well, the reactor, this ship basically has no lit up elements anymore. This feels stealth. I mean, I do know that in space, it really doesn't matter if things are glowing or bright as could be, if they're black or white, it makes no goddamn difference in space because everything is seen via sensors. However, at least you're not going to see this outside of a window most likely. Well, depending. Next up, we have the Aegis Cavarian. Ooh, if this was Klingon, it would be red. But on this one, we're going to see it in blue. You know, if this was red, this would look a whole lot better. Straight away I could say it would look a whole lot better, just mainly because of the Basard Collector. And also because it would feel more aggressive and intimidating. Especially if you had the Type 4 hull on the ship, which has a very red and black feel. It would maintain that feeling and really hype up the aggressiveness. Mind you, this would work pretty well if we were using the Katinga Alpha or Katinga Beta, so to be fair on that. Fair on that front at least. Time to assimilate. Assimilated regenerative shields. I like the fact that the assimilation visual is not over the top. It's a little bit heavy on the underside, but still not over the top. Oh, sorry for the squeak. That looks really good. I can't help but like that. A lot, actually. No. Does... The fuck? Why have all of these popped? They didn't normally... I think I'm going to start using the... I'm using this location from now on. That took a moment for me to realise what I was looking at. Wow. Okay, so certain things here don't quite make sense. Well, first of all, where the warp core segment normally is, that's fine. Interesting to see that the impulse engine is actually 2 engines accounted for in this ship, since it seems to have moved it across. It's not centralized, which technically has only 1 on this ship in the center. Doesn't blend very well, does it? I mean, one element of it does, but the rest of it not so much. And the deflector at the front of the ship, that's just weird. Mind you, it makes sense for the Borg, so. Next up, we have the Bajoran Defense Covariant. Starting low actually made this ship feel like it was coming in for an attack right then. Could you imagine in the when the Bajorans were fighting the Cardassians for their independence and their freedom back, if the Klingons sent basically a load of these to assist the Bajorans, like, Bajorans, we will be your allies if you join the Empire, and we'll provide you with these ships. Yeah, you can see them doing it. Just, we're not going to give them our birds of prey. They're too good. Oh, we got this old model bird of prey. Why don't we give the Bajorans them? Yeah, do that. They'll thank us for it. It's much higher technology than the Bajorans have. Sorry, Bajorans. I just don't think Bajoran technology is that great. Mind you, they have to be somewhat great because they have the chance to join the Federation. So yeah, they had something going for them. And admittedly, the Bajoran Interceptor. Oh no, I just reminded myself what they actually said about the Bajoran Interceptor. Take that back. Counter Command Covariant Shield Array. I'm in a discussion mode talking while we're looking at these vanity shields, aren't I? I'm so sorry. But at the same time, it's good. It means my mind is on the task of what I'm looking at. This is interesting. An aggressive look. This is... I take back what I originally said about Section 31. I would imagine this as sort of the Klingon. This is what would feel like Klingon intelligence or Klingon special forces. What I'd expect from them. A slightly more robust looking feel. Something that feels a bit more aggressive. Reinforced. Tougher. Really tougher. It's more specialised as well. It's a nice look for the ship. Gives it more life. We then have the Delta Alliance Unimatrix. This could be bad or good. Let's see. Okay, so the thing that I normally hate about this vanity shield, green glowing elements, everyone knows this by now, I'm sure. I can see it's there in the Bassar Collector. However, thanks to the metal caging of the Bassar Collector, it doesn't look as bad as it would do normally. And I appreciate that. Looking at the trim as well for the golden bronze, this to me feels like the kind of ship you'd give to someone who is off one of the great houses of the Empire, who sits on the council. You can imagine you're one of the warriors of that great house. The house has a lot of power and command, but still you can't give the top of the line ships to everyone in the house. So this would be the bird of prey, what I would expect for the bird of praise given to the lower down people in the house. but to still represent the house. It looks more refined. It looks like you have that higher position of honor within the Klingon High Council, or at least your house does, and that you represent such a prestigious house. That's how this one feels to me. That's really a bad thing. Next up, we have the Dyson Regenerative Shields. That's giving me pause. Very sorry, guys. I'm giving pause with this one. I'm not sure what I think of it. I'm gonna give that one a pass, which is the first for the Dyson Sphere. That one gave me no real track of mind there. Iconian Resistance. Oh crap! I remember what you look like on the Vulture. Please don't do the same again. Please, 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 please. My eyes are covered. I can't see it. I don't know how all you guys are reacting, but I can't see it right now. Oh? Okay, this is not the Vulture. Obviously not the Vulture, but... Oh. I don't know if it's just the elements of the ship. That looks... the underside of the wings... No. The underside of the wings look tacky. But... Everything upper on the ship, the whole upper section of this ship looks really... well shown. Definitely not the Vulture. On the Kronos 1, that was it. The second I saw it, to the moment I stopped looking at it, I was revolted by the way it looked. This one, not so much. Actually kind of keen on it. Lucari, restoration time. Well, that's a very aquatic feel, isn't it? Kind of... It feels like the kind of ship developed by an ocean-dwelling race. Just, an ocean-dwelling race that wishes they weren't ocean-dwelling and more air-dwelling. Avian. That's what I get the feeling from this. It's a race that has evolved in the oceans, but are inspired by avian aesthetics, rather than ocean aesthetics. Which has resulted in a very interesting meld of look. And controversial comment right now, I like it a lot. An awful lot. That's my favourite look. I've never had the Lucari as my favourite. What is this witchcraft? Ooh. Keska, hello there. Why, hello there. You're looking very good today. Show them you must. I don't know where that came from, sorry. Mako resistance. No. It's totally the opposite. This one is just no. Wow. I mean, normally the texturing would have added a nice feel to it on most ships. I tend to like it. It's not one of my. Mako's never been one of my favorites, but it has always added a decent feel to the ship if you were looking for something like that. This ship, it's just no. Just no. Horrible. In my personal opinion. Nukara Crystalline, aka the Folians. Ooh, hello. Very similar feel to the Lucari, just less ocean dwelling and more metallic, robust, industrial. Maybe developed by a machine race. Well, crystalline race, but hey-o. Actually looks really nice. Lucari's still my favourite. Oh, prevailing. Competitive shields, let's have a look. That was not the competitive ones I clicked on. How did I manage to do that? I'm so sorry. Okay, first of all, why is there texturing that has not been changed in the slightest by this? Anyone else notice that? Not just me? As a result, definitely don't use this with certain hull types. And mind you, Type 4 might be interesting because that would add a black element to the overall aesthetic. You definitely want to go more along the line of a greyer hull though. Maybe TOS, D7 or the Katinga Beta. Just to bring it more in line with the rest of the hull plate. It looks alright. Not entirely sure what feeling it gives to me though. Romulan! Now you can see this happening, so Romulan on Romulan. Romulan on Klingon. Would have happened eventually at some point. Has it actually changed anything? I mean, yeah, obviously the green glowing strips on it. You can see on the cannons, on the wings, around the bastards. Has it changed? What? Why has it changed? Where's my glasses gone? Okay. Sorry about this, I'm being a little bit unprofessional. But... why has it changed? Oh! Oh my word. That is so subtle. Oh my word. I don't think I've ever seen the Romulan blend so well. That is so subtle in the whole plate. If it wasn't for the green glowing strips, I would not initially notice a change. Talk about... yeah, I can get behind that. Temple time. Sometimes you've got to love the temple defense shields. Which, what? Oh! Oh, did you get stuck in a chronoton field? It literally looks like the ship has been pasted with chronoton particles and just like, yeah! Instead of painting the ship with ordinary paints, what we're going to do is we're going to get some chronoton particles and we're just going to paint them all over the ship's hull. Yeah! Careful when going to warp, you can easily change place and time really quickly. It's the fastest warp in the universe. Let's see, you're walking from the alpha quadrant to the... you're warping from the alpha quadrant to the beta quadrant. You go into warp, it's 23:39. You get to the gamma quadrant, it's 23:34. Wait, what? How did we do it in less time? Okay, yeah, sorry, I'll stop taking the mic now. Terran Task Force. I'm going to bring this back down here as well. What? Ooh. I should have looked at that straight away. Ooh, hello. Ooh. Lucari. I'm sorry, Lucari. Your first chance of actually being top of the board. Maybe. Yes and no. This definitely feels really nice. I could see Klingon vessels in the mirror universe looking like this. But at the same time, do I think it looks better than Lucari? Yeah, uh-oh. Dielectric oscillating. I feel sick. I mean, it would be funny. You could put all the ball components with this and you'd get a very nice, heavily assimilated feel to the ship. Otherwise, no. Let's get rid of that right now. Jem'Hadar. Now see, that's how it's done. Jem'Hadar looking absolutely stunning. Mind you, purple's my favourite colour. Of course I'm going to be like, yeah, okay. Well, I like the Dominion because they're purple. It's the only reason. Oh, dearie me. That's not a good reason to like the Dominion. It's pretty nice, I'll give it that. And finally, the Marmite shields. You either love it or you hate it. But that comes down to you. Riemann Advanced Prototype. Now this is where I'm a bit weird, because I say you either love it or you hate it. What I mean by this is there are three types of individuals. You've got the people that love it all the time, the people that hate it all the time, the people like me that will love it half the time and hate it the other half of the time. But there's never anyone that really goes, I like it. Well, there is people that say I like it. I'm taking from my own personal running with this ship or this vanity shield. If it wasn't for the neck and the head of the ship, I would like it. Unfortunately, you see, the honeycomb pattern looks fine. It does look fine on the rest of the ship where it is in the subtle way it's there. But the way it is on those tubings for the front of the ship, that is over the top for me. This is a very small ship, and having such a heavy element of the ship plastered in it ruins the aesthetic feel, in my opinion. Those tubes should be like the rest of the ship and have the chroming effect. As a result, I hate it. I hate it. Yep. I love it. No, I hate it. Oh. But no, technically speaking, I do think this ship looks really damn nice. It looks really beautiful here. I'm definitely going to be doing my reviews in this location from now on. On that note, oh, I broke that, didn't I? Whoops, sorry. So, my final thoughts on this ship are very simple. First of all, Star Trek Enterprise, you may have screwed up with the first time you really showed off Klingon ships, because you thought we wouldn't notice. The DS9 era Klingon vessel appearing in Enterprise. But when you came back later with this kind of ship design, now that was a masterpiece, and these look so brilliantly well done. Yes, I criticised Discovery for what they did with the Klingon vessels, but let's keep in mind, no one's been perfect. Like I just stated, Enterprise even screwed up. I believe it was a Vulture class they used. Whoops. Aesthetically, this ship is very pleasing in my opinion. It looks very nice, it looks the part, and it belongs in the Empire. Having said that, I've never really been a big Bird of Prey fan, so just having me say I like the ship in the first place is quite the achievement. I would love to hear from you guys what you like about the ship, what you hate about the ship. If you would have preferred Star Trek Online to, instead of giving us the Enterprise era Bird of Prey, give us their own new taste of ship. I mean, yeah, we've got the core. I guess that's the STO era version, but would you like to have seen another variant of STO era? Something along the lines matching with the sort of similar aesthetic change they've done between the Odyssey and, well, the Elita, the Jupiter, and then your Discovery STO era variants. Would that be nice to see with this ship? I wonder. But no, seriously, I'm getting long-winded here. Too much in my head for the ship. Thank you for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And if you wish to help support this channel, I do hope you'll consider hitting the like button if you've enjoyed, and subscribing and ringing the notification bell so that you can keep up to date on more of what I work on. With this even being noted, however, can I just say that there are ways to support this channel financially in the description below, along with our social medias, our Twitch if you want to see me streaming STO and other games, and our Twitter and Discord to know what I'm working on, when I'm working on, and when I'm posting. Can I just say a massive thank you to the generous donations of the patrons, the donators, and the Twitch subscribers that are currently credited on screen. And with all of this, hopefully I'll see you guys again next time. You're all amazing, and remember to fight with honor. Kapla. Okay, enough said. Get us out the system.